ever uh, run into that problem? You find some great content, but it's stuck behind a language you don't speak.
Oh yeah, happens all the time. Or you think about translating your own work.
Exactly. And then you see the cost and, well, the sheer complexity of it all.
It's daunting. Definitely a barrier.
Well, that challenge, breaking down those language walls, efficiently and without breaking the bank,
Yeah,
that's what we're getting into today.
for sure. I mean, think about all the stuff being created constantly. News, sports, company updates, everything. Making that truly global is, well, it's traditionally been slow and really expensive.
Which leads us right to today's topic, LEXI Voice. It's this brand new tech just unveiled at LEB Show 2025.
Right, the big broadcast tech show.
Yeah, and it's from AI Media. Folks might know that name.
They probably should. They're pretty well established in AI captioning and language tech.
Okay, so LEXI Voice is their newest thing. What is it, basically?
It's essentially a real-time voice translation system powered by AI. And for
Mhm.
this deep dive, we're mostly drawing from AI Media's own announcement about the launch.
Got it. So for our listeners, people keen on grabbing knowledge fast and seeing how tech is changing things, our mission here is to unpack what LEXI Voice actually does, what kind of splash it might make, and, well, why you might want to keep an eye on it.
Sounds good.
Okay, let's jump in. The announcement calls it a leap forward in live translation. That's pretty bold language.
It is. And what seems to make it a leap, based on what they're saying, is a few key things combined.
Like what?
Well, first off, they're really pushing the natural-sounding synthetic voices.
Ah, okay. Not the robotic stuff we sometimes hear.
Hopefully not. That's always been a hurdle, hasn't it? Making AI translation actually pleasant to listen to, if they've cracked that.
That would be huge. But you do wonder, how natural is natural across, say, 100 languages and different accents?
That's a fair point. It's definitely something AI is still improving on. How consistently good is it? That's key for real-world use.
Right. Nobody wants a monotone computer voice droning on. Okay, so natural voices.
Yeah.
What else?
Ultra-low latency. They're quoting figures around 8 to 12 seconds.
8 to 12 seconds. For live TV or events, that's
Yeah.
almost real time, isn't it?
It's getting very close. Much faster than traditional methods, which can lag quite a bit. It means a much smoother experience for someone listening to the translation.
And crucially, they mentioned no extra hardware needed.
Yeah, that's a big one. If you're already using their systems, you don't need new boxes or anything.
Okay, that lowers the barrier to entry quite a bit. So, summing it up, what's the core value proposition? Why should an organization, look into this?
Connecting it all, the announcement points to like 3 main benefits. First, just massively increasing your audience reach.
By offering translations?
Exactly, into over 100 languages. Suddenly, your content isn't just for one language group.
Makes sense. More eyeballs, more listeners. What's number 2?
Potential for more ad revenue.
Ah, okay. How does that work?
Think local sports broadcasts, right? Or big news events. If you can offer live audio in Spanish, French, German, whatever.
You can sell ads targeted to those specific markets.
Precisely. Markets you maybe couldn't tap into effectively before.
Smart. So, wider reach, potentially more revenue, and the third benefit.
This one's pretty striking. Cost savings. Big cost savings.
How big?
They claim up to 90% savings compared to traditional human interpretation.
Whoa, 90%.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah, and they gave a price point. USD $30 an hour, plus whatever their standard LEXI captioning rate is.
$30 an hour versus traditional interpreters. That's not just cheaper. That's a different ballpark entirely.
It really changes the economics of going multilingual, doesn't it?
Okay, so we know what it is, why it matters. Let's get a bit more into the tech side. How does it actually work? What are the advantages they're highlighting?
Well, a key thing they stress is how it integrates with their current gear.
The no new infrastructure point again.
Exactly. If customers already use AI Media's Ultra Encoder, that's for things like broadcast video signals or their Encoder Pro or the iCap platform for captions.
Then LEXI Voice just slots in.
That's the idea. It's designed to work within that existing ecosystem. So for users, the takeaway is it shouldn't require a massive technical upheaval.
That definitely makes adoption easier.
Yeah.
What about the actual voice quality? They mentioned that again.
They did. They said customer feedback from testing praised the natural tone and how clear the voices were. Intelligibility was another word they used.
So people could actually understand it easily and it didn't sound too, well, artificial.
That seems to be the claim. If they've really managed that, it overcomes a major listener fatigue issue with older AI voice tech.
And ease of use. Is it complicated to set up and run?
They're calling it plug and play. Uses the same scheduling systems, the same APIs, same billing, same support as their captioning.
So if you know how to use their captioning stuff...
Then using LEXI voice should feel pretty familiar. Less training, less disruption.
Okay, got it. So stepping back from the technical side, what are the specific features? What can it do right out of the box?
Well, the headline feature is translating to over 100 languages.
Right.
That's a lot.
100 languages. Wow. Huge reach.
Definitely. And you can customize the voices, too. Choose based on region, gender, even the tone you want.
Tone. Like happy or serious?
Maybe more like formal or informal, or perhaps matching the original speaker's energy somewhat. The announcement mentioned tone, so it adds some nuance, makes it feel less generic.
That's pretty cool. What else?
Glossary and phonetic tools. This is actually really important.
For getting names right. And brands.
Exactly. Making sure Nike sounds like Nike everywhere, or that a specific technical term is consistent. It maintains accuracy and, brand integrity.
Yeah, you don't want weird pronunciations of key names cropping up. I think I saw something about replacing the original audio.
Yes, AI voice replacement. It can basically swap out the original language track entirely with the translated AI voice.
And mix the audio properly.
Yep, full audio mixing capabilities. So you can deliver a completely localized feed. And get this, it supports up to 5 different language tracks simultaneously per channel.
5 alternate languages at the same time.
Mm-hmm. So one broadcast feed could potentially serve 5 different language audiences with translated audio, plus the original.
That's incredibly flexible for broadcasters or platforms targeting diverse regions. Okay, theory is great, but is this actually being used yet? Any real-world examples?
They say yes. The announcement mentions adoption is already happening. Global broadcasters, for one.
Using it for sports, news.
Yeah, sports, news, entertainment, localizing that content live, which, again, ties back to opening up those ad markets we talked about.
Right. Live sports are perfect for this. What else?
Governments and legislatures, using it for public sessions.
To make them accessible in different languages spoken in their communities.
Exactly, for inclusivity and transparency. Then there are corporations.
How are they using it?
Things like internal company town halls, investor calls, making sure employees or stakeholders across different countries can understand important updates in real time.
Okay, that makes sense for big multinational companies. Any others?
Streaming platforms and live event organizers, too, scaling up accessibility for their global audiences.
So it really spans media, government, corporate, pretty wide range of applications already.
Seems like it.
Now let's zoom out for a second. How does this LEXI voice fit into AI media's bigger picture, their overall strategy?
Okay. This is interesting. It's definitely not just a random product launch. It ties directly into their stated financial ambitions.
Which are?
They've publicly aimed to triple their tech revenue by fiscal 2029.
Triple it. That's ambitious.
Very. And achieve $60 million in EBITDA. That's a profit measure. They mentioned this in their FY25 investor updates.
And LEXI voice is supposed to help drive that.
It looks like a key part of the plan, yeah. Especially for growing their SaaS software as a service revenue.
So it's a strategic play for growth. Is it part of a bigger product suite?
It is. It's part of what they call the LEXI toolkit.
Okay, what else is in the toolkit?
Well, now it includes LXI voice for the real-time voice translation, but also things like LXI Brew, which seems to be for generative AI uses, and LXI Translate for other, maybe non-real-time translation tasks.
So they're building out a whole ecosystem of AI language tools.
Seems that way. A comprehensive offering.
And AI media itself, just for context, they're not new to this game, right?
No, not at all. Founded way back in 2003 in Australia. They're considered a global leader in AI-driven captioning and translation. Lots of experience in live and recorded media.
Didn't they make some waves recently comparing their AI captions to humans?
They did. Back in February 2024, they put out data arguing their LXI AI captioning was actually outperforming traditional human workflows in terms of accuracy and efficiency.
So they've been pushing the boundaries of AI in this space for a while.
Yeah, they have their own tech stack, ICAP, LXI, Alta, now this expanded LXI toolkit.
Yeah.
And they operate globally in over 25 countries.
Okay, so definitely established players with deep expertise. Right, we've covered a lot. Let's try and boil it down for our listener. What are the absolute key takeaways from this deep dive on LEXI voice?
I think the main thing is that LEXI voice looks like it could genuinely change the game for real-time multilingual content.
How so?
It bundles potentially accuracy with significant affordability and, crucially, ease of integration. That combo hasn't really been there before at this scale.
Yeah, that cost saving, the potential 90% reduction is just, it's hard to ignore.
It really is.
And combining that with being able to reach potentially huge new global audiences, the impact across different sectors seems pretty clear.
Definitely. Broadcasters reaching more viewers, governments being more inclusive, companies communicating better globally. The benefits seem tangible.
So maybe a final thought for our listeners to chew on.
Yeah, think about it. What happens when content can be instantly affordably multilingual? Just consider the implications.
How does it change global communication,
Yeah.
media, even just like professional collaboration?
Exactly. What new things become possible for you or in your field when those language barriers really start to crumble like this?
It's a big question. Truly breaking down those walls could be revolutionary.
Hmm.
Well, if folks are interested and want to dig deeper, AI Media does have links available. You can find more info, maybe even ask for a demo.
Yeah, we've really just scratched the surface here today.
Definitely worth exploring more if this is relevant to you. That ability to translate voice instantly,
Hmm.
it really opens up a world of possibilities.
It does, for connection, for understanding, globally. It's exciting tech to watch.